Hi folks, karibuni tena sana to this amazing podcast.
Lazima utumie pesa ikuzoe.
Yeah.
But that's a wrong frame. You go other cultures, any money, certain percentage is set aside. Others will follow the biblical way or the Quranic way or other way. If you get 100 shilling, minimally 30% you're supposed to pay.
Remember, it is called business chat as usual.
The contractors are enjoying, the steel makers are enjoying hugely because the economic is going to be booming. Plus Nairobi and other major towns are undergoing a heavy change in terms of modern apartment.
Last time we were discussing on how politics can distract business, can make business not working. But today we want us to change now the script and talk on the importance of politics in our business today.
Kenya, lately the president has opened doors for all African countries. What does that show? A lot of, everything in this world is evil and good.
Sure.
You understand?
I'll be hosting the show alongside my co-host, Mohamed Ayale. You've talked about the Hustler Fund. I remember I got a Hustler Fund when I was a student at Egerton University. Na sisi unajua ile tukipatwa pesa shilingi 600, unaona tu pale unaambiwa chukua shilingi 600 unakula. Sisi tulikuwa tunaona tu ni kama it's just normal. So nimeona umesema it impacted the business positively.
Yeah.
Ina impact vipi kwa mfano?
No, for your case you were a student then. But imagine a mama mboga, someone who is just hustling, who's trapped at 1,000 a day. Has stock of groceries in a kiosk, the small kiosks that we see in Kenyan markets.
Yes.
Just the total goods that are there can be 1,000. At that, if she trades well, she can get 200 profit,
Yes.
300. Let's assume she sells well. To that person, giving 600 to 1,000 or let's assume 2,000 will impact positively. That is the essence of the Hustler Fund, as per they say for the government, the way they see it.
Ooh.
But for us, the big companies, that's like even it can be adjusted, it's nothing to us. But to that person, specifically, not only in towns, mostly the rural people. In Kenyan's population, I think, if not I'm wrong, at least 60% to 70% people live in upcountry or rural areas where life standard is a bit low. People a day, 1,000 looks like something big. But for us in the cities, 1,000 is like something that's not that much.
Moha, I want us to make this conversation simple.
Yeah.
Like for example, I want the audience to understand. Like for example, me, I was given that Hustle Fund. It was
Yes.
670 shillings.
Yes.
And I was a student. Now, I think the main goal of the government was to give me that money to do business, to start a business.
Yes.
But that time I was a student, so nilienda tu nikakula chafua hapo. Hiyo story nikamaliza nayo. So, but in the government perception, it was that they were giving Kihoro that 670,000 shillings to start a small business. I think the notion that Kihoro had, I believe I was not alone. Vijana wengine kama mimi, sisi wote tulikuwa tunafikiria tu ni pesa ya, ni pesa ya kukula. So how are we going to change this perception? Yeah. For example, the government is giving out money for people to start businesses, but how wanakula badala ya kuifungua? How are we going to do that so that at least we can stabilize the government initiative or projects to help
Now,
people, the small businesses people to start the businesses?
I can reframe your question. It's more of mindset. How do you have
Yes.
how can we have the right mindset?
Yes.
I think it's a Kenyan mindset that 90% of people think, and the middle class, is to consume. Since when you're a young boy, if you're given 500 shilling, what is not 500 shilling, 10 shilling you're given, what was your first action you used to take? You used to run to the shop.
Sure.
No one taught us this 5 shilling I can put in my pocket. Tomorrow I buy a biscuit, I go and sell in the school and I make profit. And then I eat my profit from the biscuit I sell. It is rare unless you are Asians. Unless you come from extreme family businesses or you're frugal, any kid will assume any money, pop. Imagine now we are growing, we are babies that are getting to adults. Still, we are carrying our habits of the young age. You understand the mindset we had from our parents. Anytime you see money, money must be eaten. You see, that's even you can see an 80-year-old man, if you give him 3,000, you won't think of investment. You won't think, you say this one, let me go to the bar, let me eat this thing. Let me, they say pesa lazima ikuzoe. You understand the Kenyan frame? Lazima utumie pesa ikuzoe.
Yeah.
But that's a wrong frame. You go other cultures, any money, certain percentage is set aside. Others will follow the biblical way or the Quranic way or other way. If you get 100 shilling, minimally 30% you're supposed to save, or 20% you can consume it. That saving culture like the Indians in India. There are countries that are good in savings, but Africa and the West, sometimes we are more of consumption economies. We consume a lot than we eat. That's why we stay poor. We want to wear the next Nike, the next shoes. If that mindset comes to the university, even that is the elite of the elites. A university graduate is eating 600 shillings. Yes, it's a little amount, but what if you could have done something? You could have done the same 600 a business. Either you top up a 400 shilling, you have 1,000 shilling, you go to the market, you buy a product, you start selling your fellow things. It can start. I know cases and cases of people who have started 1,000 shilling with Mtumba. Today they are selling a lot of things, but others are going to sell those when necessity forces them, but not by default. Necessity is forcing when you lost your parent, when you don't have any other income. Now you say, let me survive. In business, survivability is not the issue. Yes, it will encourage you, but in business, it must come out from your heart.
So my question was, Moha, I want us to detach politics and business. Unajua, kuna hii pesa yenye tumepatiwa, hii pesa ni ya mwanasiasa, acha tukule tu. Hii ni pesa ya mwanasiasa, acha tuku. Hii pesa ni Ruto, ni pesa yetu. Ruto ametupatia pesa yetu. But according to Ruto, it is the money for people to invest and start small businesses maybe, wajigrow pamoja. So I want us to detach politics and business. Tutafanyaje ili tutoe that notion this is a political money. It's a political game. Sijui kama unapata Kenya nauliza.
Okay, the question now I'm getting. Now reprieve me. I think it's supposed to be from early education system. The government should indicate a policy in which now business is mandatory, mindset changing is mandatory, so that people are taught the life skills, business skills, those skills from young age. Once such opportunity comes, whether it's 600 or 6,000, it is, even if that person is given 100,000, they will go to clubs because the consumption mindset was in your mind. That's why it is early stage, and it is it's like our blood is toxic in that consumption way. How can we delete it at a young age? At family level. If our parents, grandparents were never taught, they were taught how to consume, it's going to be hard. Yes, it's going to be mounted. But the government will require huge planning from early age, from nurseries to these, that students are taught, if you get money, make sure you know how to utilize. Do either investment or do that. But if you are not taught, 18 years you are from the university, 4 years of university, if the elite of the elite is consuming, the problem is the system of education we have, and it must be corrected. How do you correct? Now we have to introduce the street smart technologies. Smart strategies, they don't teach others in universities, other skills. People are not required to be enlightened. They say either be borrowers or savers. When you save, the bank gains. It's not your work. It's the bank that makes money with your money, because that amount, if you have been smart, you can multiply. I don't know if I'm not wrong, there's stories of someone was given a talent in the either biblical or those things. There were 3 people. One was given this one. Others multiplied. Others had it. But God took away, I don't know if I'm not wrong, those who haven't used it. That money must be, when you got it, you're supposed to know how to. Whether you are employed somewhere, but who is stopping you not to invest? Is there a person stopping you not to invest? 3,000 is our money. But Kenyans wait millions of money to start investing. But the little you have, you can invest. Today you play a chama, you get that money. So I'm still getting the same question. It's mindset shift. And it requires from early age.
I think, and
from our parents,
early
which
education.
Are
You've mentioned about hustle fund, not hustle fund, the housing levy,
housing. Affordable housing.
Affordable housing. You have mentioned about the affordable housing. We are watching TVs and radios, magazine every day. Politicians, they are fighting affordable housing. They are saying that affordable housing, it's not good. But you have said it is impacting positively on our business today. Is it legit?
To me, I think, in my opinion, everyone has his own opinion. President Ruto is trying his best, However much people are saying about him, you can have different opinion about him. But to me, in one sector, the affordable housing is just a plus. It's not only impacting that slum dweller at somewhere. It's giving him, somewhere to settle. You understand? Dignity life. You understand? If someone is taking from mud or somewhere drainage, you're sleeping, he gets to an apartment. Even if it's 2 rooms or one bed, one studio, something like that, it elevates his mindset first. Yes. Second thing is, those buildings now directly impact the economy from A to Z. The constructors are enjoying, the steel makers are enjoying hugely, because the economic is going to make booming. Plus, Nairobi and other major towns are undergoing a heavy change in terms of modern apartments. That was naturally from the investors who are selling. Kenya is a boom country in terms of infrastructure, in terms of building. What if this government now enters that market? not only it's making that building alone has a million small things, it's trickling down to the economy. That is the effect of a government to revolutionize. And such a case was utilized by China. China's ghost cities are being built high scale. There's almost cities that are even larger than Nairobi, but there are no people there. But the government was building. In the last 10 years, China's GDP, if not, was going at a 10% growth. They've doubled the last 30, 40 years. They were a small economy, trillions of money. Now they are competing with Americans. Why? It's because of such a mega development. You know, mega development attracts trickle down to the economy. Only that trickle down economy, all the small farms are enjoying because their revenue is going up. Not only from the government, it's giving you a demand, but the private also is building. So when there's a crazy investment in terms of buildings, like Nairobi is a good example of, then is the fastest growing in terms of developers. Where I come from, or where most of us are there, Eastleigh is a good example. In Parklands, other areas, a lot of private developers are developing. That developer is developing, he's helping the painter, the nail maker, the steel maker, the cement manufacturers. All these indirectly are enjoying. And then the same government will go and collect taxes from them. If they make more revenue, more government. At the same time, more people are holding their jobs. That means it is less stress for the government. If there are more jobless for the government, rights are going to increase. The role of a government is to give business enabling environment. There's not to create our jobs, but give the environment, investors invest big businesses, and they attract this large pool of graduates who are coming from university to get a decent jobs that pays now. Now they pay the rent, everything. So the economy is like...
Yeah. I think lastly, you mentioned about the investors.
Yeah.
Mimi ni mtu mwenye huwa napenda sana I normally give out examples according to the statistics and what I've been hearing before, maybe in the magazines, television. Investors in Kenya, most of residents ama wananchi wa Kenya, you'll find them fighting for investors. They want sisi wenyewe tujifanyie business. They say that this is our country, we have to do it ourselves. The investors are coming to grab some of our resources, some of our things. But in you are saying it is impacting positively on our businesses. Does investors, when they come to Kenya, does it impact positively or negatively to our country, Mr. Mohammed?
Investors coming.
Yes.
Investors automatically will impact positively to our economies. Why? If he's a genuine investor and he's doing legit businesses.
Also, there's a difference between a genuine investor and ungenuine.
Ungenuine, yes. There's scammers, yeah.
The scammers.
We have a lot of people from African continent.
Can someone invest in Kenya without the license?
Without
the license, for example? How can we differentiate a genuine investor and a scam, for example?
Even the scam will come in a genuine court. He's going to wear a genuine coat. Now he'll do his donkey work, his monkey work. The monkey work. Because Kenya, lately, the president has opened doors for all African countries. What does that show? A lot of, everything in this world is evil and good.
Sure.
You understand?
Yes.
Even the evil will wear the right things, then it starts scamming people. In Kenya, there are that countries that have known the scammers. Although Kenyans were educated, still people come and call you, they scam you. People crack your CCTVs, they crack the banks, still things. We have specific countries I don't want to name here. These are people, when you hear certain countries coming to our country, an African country, people start fearing. You know them. I don't want to name them here. It's a media, but some countries, their people are more of, tricksters.
Sure.
Compared to people say the Kenyan people are one of the best in the world because mostly we do the right things. Most Kenyans around the world, they're doing something positive. We don't hear Kenyans scamming others, doing the right thing. Unless within internally, we have few bad elements, rotten ones, but those one can't, is negligible. But there are countries that are so specialist here in Africa. People know them. If they touch a country, massive looting or massive something. And but we don't want to name them. You can comment down there. As you know those people, we don't want to name them.
As we went up, there is this something called a citizen.
Yes.
And nowadays, the government is trying to impress a citizen, and even Kenyans are impressing a citizen mostly in Kenya, like applying license online, so many things. Even documents nowadays, people, they do apply online. How does a citizen improve our business nowadays?
For example, one thing I like the e-citizen is, for government, it's, we are dealing with millions of Kenyans who needs daily services. It was requiring huge procurement of paperwork that's costing billions of money, if not per year or in the budget. Now that is reduced to almost minimum production. That's one thing. there is less hassle for an average person, because you won't have stress of getting your things. At the comfort of your home, you can apply things you want. Yes, now that removes the hassling of personally going to that field. Second thing is the introduction of Huduma centers.
Sure.
Sometimes they help the easy operations quickly. But specifically the e-citizen, for our case, here in Mombasa, we used to cross here ferry sometimes. We have institutions there. We used to pay cash. Now that cash, cash has a problem. And Kenyan tampering with cash. Corruption, yes. Millions of money are handled daily here at the ferry crossing. But now people pay through e-citizen. Now the president can see at the top of the data, he can see.
Sure.
A day, how much do we capture at ferry? Although loopholes are there, but that's a good example. We see at the ground. I'm giving the average person Kuvukapa ferry, for example, say we pay through the Kenyan citizen, although sometimes when you're going to Ukunda and crossing to ferry, it delays you. But now your money is going to the government, it's doing something. Sure. I think with the help of e-citizen, plus I can also take this advantage to congratulate the President, Ruto, for making KQ, our pride here, our commercial national airline, are profitable. It used to make huge billions of losses.
Sure. He
tightened all the ropes. The President has tried, and inshallah, I think if we continue this way, although every human being has his negative side, a lot of people will differ with me, but the statistics on the ground, even our coffee farmers are enjoying operator rates here in Central. I think the last statistics data was there. Prices of coffee, farmers are gaining well. The milk is doing well. But now people are different in terms of other side of his side, yes? But that is now other people, they can concern. But in terms of putting things in order, he's really trying his best. We want him, the same money he's collecting, he does for us something even greater, and he reduces. And that has reduced the channel for corruption, because a lot of people were massaging our money. But now it's consolidated. The president can see with this tablet, this is a data capturing, yes? The data, when it's consolidated, you can analyze it at a quick rate rather than a cash. How do you reconcile a cash? Oh, let me close my book. Let me do this, it takes ages. But now, every transaction, if it goes seamlessly, like Safaricom, billions of money passes through M-Pesa, but the CEO can know at a second, yes, what is the cumulative amount that goes through M-Pesa, yes? Why? Everything is in data, you understand? So the data has a central place. That central place gathers all information. How many people have crossed to ferry? That's the data the government, if that ferry requires another big ferry, or for example, for here in Kenya, in Mombasa, a lot of people go to Diani. Then now that forces even the government sometimes to have another alternative route for cars to pass. That's why it has developed Donkokundu bypass. It's helping reduce the jam at the ferry, wasting people's time, even the investors. What about the tourists? Now they can enjoy. And now people can cross ferry easily. They pay the money. No one touches it now. It's not benefiting. But in Kenya, we are the leading among Africa, one of the best corrupted countries. So by the master knowing the channels, now he has closed all the taps. And I think Kenyans say he's the master, but he is not. But if he was the master, he could have continued massaging it. But now he closed. That shows he's genuine about what he's doing.
Amazing.
President Ruto, yes.
Amazing so much. Thank you for your time. I think they have now understand how government support business positively. In the first session, we talked about how government support or affect business negatively. But now, at least, you have talked about how does it affect it positively, and it was a nice discussion. I think we still need to have another session to extend this discussion so that at least the other questions, I know we are going to have a lot of questions in the comment section about this topic. But thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed. Until next time, anything, your parting shot?
My parting shot
By looking at your camera?
Okay, my parting shot is as a true citizen, as a patriot of this country, let's support our government. Let's pay our taxes, however much it's a burden to us, but we pay knowing that it's going to do for us something better because our children are being sponsored. For us, the private people, we are enjoying life, yes, but they are less fortunate people. And I expect also the government officials to stop this corruption, to close all the loopholes as they're trying to do. And I think we give the current government time, and then the right time, 2027, when it comes, we can decide if they have done the right things, we remove them. If they have done the right things, we elect them. If they haven't done, yes, it's our right to remove. But let's stop the electioneering period. From after election until the day of election, we are in a perpetual electioneering period in terms of our mindset. there's time to settle, there's time to focus. Every now and then there's a demonstration coming up, people sponsoring political sponsorships. Those nonsense is supposed to stop. As a citizen of this country, we expect, and you who was watching, let us maintain peace. We focus, we give time. If you hate the person, the president, give him time. Let 2027 come. When you're in that box, decide if you don't want him. If you want him, stay. But the chaos is not helping the economy because it's laying down others off. And our economy is doing well, however much challenges are there. And internationally, other countries are really doing trouble. Other economies are stagnant, but ours is really moving a little bit when we compare ourselves. Our prices, when compared others, we are much better in terms of oil, in terms of bread. You know, there are countries like Ghana, they're having troubles because people have to pay. But our country, we are even we are paying our debts. This government has paid a lot of debts, as even the opponents they said he has reduced the debts. But we expect him come 2027 if he's re-elected. He should not be there now. Now he comes up with the big knife, and then now he's shaving us. That's the worst thing.
Perfect.
But if he continues this tempo, this president, maybe you'll have a chance to be re-elected. That's my parting shot.
Thank you so much. And folks, that marks the end of this exciting episode. Remember, if you have not watched the previous session, kindly go there, click subscription channel, hakikisha hapo chini the subscription button. Hapo tu chini hakikisha kwamba subscribe, like and share this amazing podcast. My name is Daniel Kihoro. Until next time, bye-bye.